In today's video, we're going to be configuring a 503 pneumatics manifold. The easiest thing to do is to Google or to search on Numatics CAD Configurator. What comes up is actually the ASCO site. You click on the Numatics CAD Configurator, and this will take you to the Emerson or ASCO site, and it shows all the components that we can configure in subgroups. You open that up, it defines it even more. Here we're going to be playing in the directional control valves today. You see all the different series. This is where the vast majority of our customers are going to be. We'll click on the 503 series, and we can configure just a valve mount. Just an individual valve. We could configure just the mount itself or just a sandwich pressure regulator. Most people, though, are going to configure a complete valve manifold. I would recommend that that's what you do. You don't want to, when you do a manifold, you're going to get one drawing of the complete manifold, and if you can configure it on the site, we can build it. If you start cutting and pasting valves and mountings and things like that together, you may be able to come up with a configuration that we actually can't build. So once we get in here, we're going to define the valve manifold itself. We're going to define the electronics. You see we have from the field bus electronics to charms to, let's say, our 25-pin sub-D connector. Then we got our ports and our end plates. Here's our end plates down here that you see we're configuring. We're going to select the number of valve stations, and because I selected the 25-pin sub-D, it takes 1 to 22 valves. It only allows for 22 stations. We're going to select 6 here today. MPT ports in the end plate, and then also our vertical end plates. And we're going to select the muffler in the end plates. Now that I've checked off all the boxes, my little green button has now turned green from gray. We select that, and it's going to take me into the valve stations, and I have 6 stations as I declared previously. In here I've got 3 tabs. I got the general, which is what is showing right now. I got a valve, which will actually call out the valves itself, and then I have a regulator, but that's not illuminated yet. To get that illuminated, we would want to come over here and say for station 1, I want a regulator. So we go down and we select the general information on these stations. It's a valve station. It's a standard options, proprietary interface. It's got the wiring option of plug-in. All the others are grayed out. Single Z-board or double Z-board, that's a big determination here. I would recommend double Z-board, especially on a 6-station manifold. You have 22 capabilities in or 22 solenoids capable in the 25-pin sub-D, so 6 times 2 is 12. You're in great shape picking the double Z-boards, and they cost the same as the single. Port size is quarter, and we'll select MPT. Now we'll switch to the valve tab and pick our valve as a rubber packed, solenoid pilot, standard options, plug-in, and a simple spring return valve. I still don't have the next button illuminated. That's because I got to pick the regulator. Over here in the regulator, you'll notice we get a check mark when we pick in a particular chart. So I'm picking a single pressure regulator. 10 to 130 is pretty much our standard. Gauge is going to be reading in PSI versus bar. Plug-in, receptacle assembly. Standard, I'm not going to pick any options here. Proprietary interface, and my next button is illuminated. So now I picked station 2, and I'm going to go a little quicker on this stuff for you. I don't have to pick anything in the general because it's a 2-station manifold on the 503s, and we did that on the first one. So we're going to pick spring return valve and go next. It's a nice little option here. You see here we've got our first station with the regulator and the valve, and then the single solenoid next to it. A really nice, unique option here. This station, speaking of number 3, is just like 1 and 2. So we're actually saying that station 3 and 4 are just like 1 and 2. On the 5-6 station now, we're going to select the general tab, our double Z board, 1/4. Let's say on this one I want to go 3/8 push-in fittings. Okay. Come over to my valves, and I want a rubber pack valve. Plug in, and let's say I want a block center valve. If you hover over this, you get your ANSI symbols, which is very nice if you're copying off of a drawing. We'll go next. And we're on our 6th station, our final station. I only have 5 valves that I truly need, but I have to have a 6-station manifold to get my 5. So I'm going to pick a blank station as the last one and click next. I've now defined all 6 stations, and the last thing is determining whether you need any blocking discs. Blocking discs go in the galleries port 1, 3, or 5 between stations to isolate them. We're not going to have any of that here, so we're going to click to next. And now we have all of our part numbers configured, our call out on our stations, and brief description with the manifold pictured down below. If we go to the print button, this is where you have all of our part numbers, a sketch, and if you send this, you print it as a PDF and send it off to either our inside people or our outside salesmen, they can quote very easily from this and very quickly. But we came here to get a CAD configurator, so let's go and download. There's our step file. As you can see, we've got a huge variety of flavors to choose from. And I hit my download CAD configurator. At this point, I'm already logged in and the system knows I'm already logged in. But you may, if you haven't yet to log into the CAD configurator, you may have to supply your email address, your company name, your name. That's simply so that at this point, if you want to hit the email address and not wait for it to configure the drawing for you, you just click on that, and in about 5-10 minutes, you're going to have an email from Numatics with the zip file of your CAD configurator. We're going to wait for it. You can see it wasn't all that long. And here's my downloaded file for my 503. When we download that, it'll come down in a zip file. You'll open that up. There's your step. A text document, which is your part numbers. Here's an HTML document. If we take a look at that, there's all your part numbers. And then you have, let's pull that drawing up again, or that zip file. You've got a README, terms of use, and then also a schematic. You could also hit your previous button and go back and change. Let's say you wanted your port identification, or you wanted some blocking discs added in there. We add them in. You're still seeing that assembly drawing, and that assembly drawing is on the previous one. To get an updated one, you would have to hit the download again. It would download, and you would see 2 of them here. The bottom one would be the newest one. But that's the CAD configurator. If you have any problems, please don't hesitate to call our main office or your outside salesman. They can help you get you your CAD drawing very quickly, and then circle back around and go over any confusion that may have been. But getting your CAD file is why you went here. We'd like to get that to you as quickly as we can. We really appreciate you stopping by Lighty Automation and checking out the videos. If you have any questions, again, please call us at our office, 440-546-1019. Thank you for watching.